This isn't working. Hi,
This
Carol.
isn't working.
I love your shirt. I live in Westminster, actually.
Do you?
Yeah.
Westminster is where I went to college. So,
Oh,
and
okay.
my daughter walks in and she's like, wearing this. And she's like, I found it in a thrift store. And I'm like, yeah, that's mine.
I'm taking it. That's awesome. Very cool.
Hi.
All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome. It is November 21st of 2025, almost finishing off the year. And today we're going to be talking about AI agents. So we're going to be covering a high-level overview of a couple different platforms that do offer AI agents and the differences. And like I said, this is going to be a high-level overview, so we're not actually going to be demoing any of these. So just talking about them. Now, I do have experience personally with all of them, so I have used all of them except one. I didn't, but we have a guest speaker here that's going to talk a little bit about that, Mr. Mark Ruse over here. So he has experience with one, so I added that to the mix. So I'll be talking about the rest of them besides that last one. So Mark will be going over that. So let's get started. Now, obviously, this is interactive, so you're here. So if you guys have any questions or anything, just interrupt me. That's fine. Yeah, I prefer it that way. All right, so let's see here. So we got Gamma. So yes, we're using Gamma, but no, we're not going to be talking about Gamma. But they do have a couple awesome updates with theirs. Does anybody else use Gamma?
I have not.
No? Okay. All right. It's taking forever to present. There we go. Okay. All right. So, Mark, maybe I should do something about Gamma because Gamma's pretty awesome. But nobody else uses Gamma?
I use Gamma, yeah.
You do? Okay. All right. Awesome. Very cool. All right. So AI agents. Yes. Cover that. All right. So intro. So yeah, this is just the intro. Basically, this is date, time, what we're going to be covering. I'm not going to read the slides. I hate when people read slides. You guys can read it. If you're watching this later, you can just hit the pause button and then read the slide and then hit the continue button. But why this is important, I did want to go over this. We're like, why are we doing AI agents? So obviously, we're learning a lot more about, or we always hear a lot more about, like, hey, you need to get more stuff done faster. And AI agents is one of the best ways to do that. Basically, we are all busy. Everyone is busy. I'm extremely busy. I know a lot of us are, having kids, having a job, working on the side, a little bit of everything. So AI agents are ways that you can just automate certain things or certain tasks, or at least get 70% of the way there so they can save you some time. All right. So reasonable upfront. So I wanted to talk a little bit about data security right away and the importance of this. So I love talking about the AI sandwich, and I actually got this from Rob from Innovating with AI. He mentioned it in one training and it really hit. So I've been talking a lot about that. And as I do some of my live presentations, when I talk to, in front of groups of people, this is something that resonates with them because it's something that you can easily visualize. Is you got to have the oversight. A lot of people will say human in the loop. I hear that and I read that a lot around terms, but I like AI sandwich. I don't know why. It's basically the same thing. So you start with the human, so like the input. So think about what you want from the AI and then run it through AI, but then also don't just take what AI says and then have a human finish it off. So that's what the AI sandwich does. And it took me a while to do this graph. I'm really proud of this image, all right? That's why I put it in here. All right, leave me alone. When you create something cool, you use it a couple times. So got to have human in the loop or AI sandwich. But also when we are looking at AI agents, like the data minimization is also important. So when we are cleansing the data or looking at data that we want AI to look at or be trained or indexing or whatever verbiage that you want to use. So we don't want to add a ton of data if it's not necessary. So strip out the stuff that you don't need because then it just adds more fluff, which could complex the actual data that you want. And then also make sure your privacy and security first. So when you do upload information, you do index information, make sure it's not PHI or PII or anyone's personal identified information if you can. Just be careful of the security behind that. And also the tools that you're using. So if you're using a tool that's not HIPAA compliant, don't use it for uh, yeah. So if you're using something that's HIPAA compliant, don't or for HIPAA compliance, don't use a tool unless you have a BAA signed with them. So
Mm.
Couple smart ideas on that one. All right. So what is an AI agent? Actually, I got this. I think Aniko, I think you were the one that said this. The difference between an LLM and an AI agent was a boss, like a CEO telling you what to do versus an
Oh yeah,
employee.
yeah,
What was that you?
yeah.
Yeah,
I
okay.
heard it somewhere from someone else, so I
Uh,
didn't come up
all
with it.
right. Well, I'm just reiterating what you said. So, literally, because you said that, I changed the slide here. So, I had this made. So, I changed this up to kind of do more exactly what you said on this. Not talk about the LLM, but just ultimately an agent. So, like, what is an AI agent just at a high level? So, it's a basically it's an employee. Think about it as an intern. So, you hire an intern, and what do you want that intern to do? You tell them exactly what you want. Now, the difference between an AI agent and an intern is an intern has context or a human has context. So if you say something like, go get me a coffee to a brand new intern, and this is, really big on the movies like Devil Wears Prada. I don't know. I know they're coming out with the second one pretty soon. Leave me alone. I like movies. But when you have somebody and
Nobody's picking on you, Dan.
yeah, leave me alone. I like this movie.
You're preempting all my critiques.
Uh, yeah, so you tell it what to do, like get me coffee. Well, if they don't know or they have no context, they're just going to bring you black coffee because that's what you asked for. So that's what an AI agent is you tell it you want to do something, it takes it very literal until you start to train it. You start to edit it, you modify what you want it to do, and it'll learn based off of your behavior. So the best way, as Anako mentioned, is like it's an employee that it'll do what you say. So like little minions. So when you say something like "get me coffee" for it, it'll go and get the coffee. But after a little while, you have to tell like, okay, well, this is how I like my coffee. This is how I want the output. Okay, I want you to modify this. I like that you did that, but I don't like that you did this. So that's how you can continuously update or refine the AI agents. And yes, I like two stevia packets and cream in my coffee. So just in case anyone's ever wondering. All right. So, yeah, so some of the ones that we're going to cover today at a high level. So Zapier, Lindy, TeamSupport, ElevenLabs, Quack, and a little bit about what's next. I was going to do another one, but after looking at this list, I was like, wow, this is kind of a big list anyway. Now, there's obviously a lot more AI agent platforms out there. N8N is another big one. Make, I know, can do that. So there's just tons that are out there. There's no way that I can have an extensive list to go over everything. So I'm just talking about the ones that I personally have experience with, except Quack. Mark will
Mm.
talk about that, but I've personally used all of the other ones, and I know a lot of you guys here have too. So if you want to jump in and mention anything about your experience since you're on the call, please go ahead. I want to hear this. I by no means am an expert. I haven't dive a million, hours into each one of these systems. I've used them all at a high level, some of them a little bit deeper than others. But one of the great things about having all of you here is I want your input. I want you to provide your experience as I go through these as well. Cool?
Cool.
Cool. Okay. All right. So first one, Zapier agents. So this is the first agent that we played with, and a lot of this, so these agents and a lot of the ones that I've learned about actually was from 100 School. So that's how it started. So doing the 100 days of AI is the first time that I dove into a lot of these. That's how I learned about Lindy for the first time. Obviously not Zapier, so I knew about them before 100 School. But Zapier, so they do have their own agents platform. So it's not just a Zap. You can actually create AI agents. They also do have AI chatbots, which are different. If you don't know the differences, there's a pretty big difference, but we're not going to get into that detail today. But they do have agents. So pricing for the agents, so just so you know, yeah, so pricing, so 50 bucks a month starting at the basic plan, but you do have the free plan where it can do 400 tasks. So there's a little bit of things that you can do for free. So if you're just playing around and it's 400 per month, which is nice, not 400 and then it stops because there's some AI systems out there where they give you so many credits when you start a trial, but then once you're done with those credits, like you're done. And then you have to move on to a paid plan. So they do have 400 tasks. So if you're just doing a couple basic things with Zapier, you could probably get away with it for free, or at least if you're just playing around or testing. So some of the pros, which I did like, is they do have a really good talk to it functionality. So you just type or talk exactly what you want it to say. That's why it's like the no code interface for business users. So you can just talk to it like, hey, this is what I want the agent. I want it to connect to my Google Sheet. I want it to, run through Chat GPT to find an answer to somebody's question or enhance their data and then give me this specific output. Like maybe it's an email that is mostly like 90% of the way written, but based off of what they filled out in a form, add 10% using something like, ChatGPT or Claude. And then from there, give it the output, whether it's create an email draft or, actually take an action or do something. It can connect to a lot of different systems. So Zapier has been around quite a bit of time. They became a lot more relevant in the age of AI within the last couple of years. Like a lot more people have heard of them. They've really upgraded their product to make it a lot better. And they have a lot of integrations. So they have that legacy integrations, which is nice. A lot of enterprise-ready customers use this. A lot of documentation, pretty good support. I've had to contact their support twice, I think, and I didn't have any major issues a day or two for them to get back to me. Some of the cons for this one is if you do use it a lot, it can get quite expensive. So the $50 a month plan, I think you get like 1,000 tasks, and I didn't look into that one, but you do get quite a bit more tasks for the $50 a month. And what I like about it is that you can have different agents do different things. So you can have like 5 agents, they just charge you for how many tasks you use, not how many agents you have. So if you have 10 agents that do very small tasks, that's okay. Like you can, 40 a month or one a day, that's fine if you want to set it up that way. But if you want to like really start building and do more complex stuff, then it can get quite expensive. Some of the branching logic does have limitations, as it says, so you can't always connect to, you can only do so much with it. You can't go real deep. So like something like an N8N, where you can connect different nodes to do different things. Zapier does have some issues with that because it's mostly linear in how it's set up and not as advanced as N8N. Some of the best workflows you can see here, just updates, routine task automation, having it look at different things, being able to, do like, here's an input, give me this exact output, and connect to different systems as necessary. So anyone have any experience with the Zapier agents that you want to throw in? Anything while I take a drink of water?
Just
Yeah.
that when we were in the 30 days of AI, that was one of the lessons
Mhm.
was using Zap and I think one other tool to create an AI agent.
Mhm.
But, you know, both our past, Dan, we've dealt with Zapier, on all kinds of different things for other, but you're right. In the age of AI, they're starting to become very prominent.
Mhm. Yeah. Damon, did you?
Yeah, I did the same thing with the 100 School. I made the like agent in there. It kind of sends you, goes out and finds uh articles for you and sends you a summary, a really kind of
Mhm.
monthly digest. And I kind of I modified it because I didn't really want the AI content because I felt like I had enough of that, and I just did it for like the sports teams that I follow, and it just sort of
Okay.
sends me a digest every morning. And then I modified it for my girlfriend who's in like publishing industry, so it kind of follows some of the stuff that hers and sends on a different cadence.
Nice.
The only thing wanted to ask is I'm looking at the Zapier plans, like it's what I thought it's like more like 20 bucks or 30 bucks a month. Is that what you're quoting is the 50 is like when you start adding a bunch of agents to it, or where was the 50 coming
Yeah,
from?
so the plan, so I did look at this because I thought that the pricing was different because so it starts at $20 a month for Zaps, but if you go to the section that says agents on the left and then you scroll down and then you hit actually say AI agents, then
Mhm.
it says it starts at $50 there.
Oh, interesting. Okay, cool.
Yeah. So like, yeah, you can use Zapier. So the Zapier plans don't start at 50. It starts at 20. So like if you want to do some like more advanced zaps, you can do that. Like use webhooks. Like I have a zap where I can that I have a webhook that I
Mhm.
need to send some information to a Google Doc. So that is something you have to pay for, and that's $20, but that's not an agent. That's just like a more advanced zap.
Yeah. And they can get kind of like, depending on how you define agents, like a more advanced like Zapper workflow that has like a an LLM connected to it that's making some
Mhm.
decisions is kind of an agent, but it's a little bit different.
Different. Yeah. Yeah. It's a little bit different. Agents are a little bit more autonomous.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. Anything else about Zapier? Anyone else?
I have an example. So what I use it for, it's a bit more complex. And it was really easy to set up because it has this copilot kind of agent inside. So I just say what I want to do, and it creates you the whole flow.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, I didn't have any issues setting it up. So what it does is that I use so I write some Substack posts, and so it listens to the RSS feed, and whenever I post uh, something, then it gets the data, it turns it into Markdown format, and it uploads it to my GitHub for my portfolio page. So it appears there as well. So I don't have to copy paste everywhere,
Hmm.
Nice. That's
and it
pretty cool.
formats it really, really nicely. So that one works pretty well. But I had another one as well, which is similar to what you said, that it gets some information from the internet and summarizes it, but I just got bored with that one because it always seems to
Yeah,
have the same sources.
I guess you're talking about the same task that was given to us in 30 days of AI because we have built similar things around that through
Yep.
Zapier.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
even I have one of the automations running every day, and I get the newsletters about major tech changes and advancements in AI. I get those emails because, of course, we have made those things in 30 days of AI.
Hmm.
yeah. But it
Yep.
seems to take the sources from the same place every time.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
guess I would have to tweak the prompt, but I
Mm.
Mm.
just couldn't be bothered.
Yeah. I don't remember
Actually,
what
honestly,
day.
after those 30 days, I was hardly able to explore Zapier anymore. I tried doing it, but I left it somewhere in the middle of doing something else. But I think from that time till now, there are many more features that have been added to Zapier, so we should definitely explore it again.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot. Stacy, I know you said that you're, oh, I'm sorry, not Stacy, Carol. You said that you're day 8. Have you hit the Zapier? I forget what day it was. Have you hit the Zapier one yet?
Sorry, I have you on a different screen, and I'm like, how do
Oh,
we?
no worries.
Anyway, um, no, I have not gotten there yet.
Okay.
I did
All
play
right.
with it like when I before 30 days, but nothing that's worth talking about.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we're all talking. So in the 30 days of AI, one of the missions or one of the days is Zapier where it says create a summary of like all the AI news is what we're all basically have the same exact workflow or like
Gotcha.
minor edits because most of us did the 30 days of AI. So I know you're close. So you'll be there right soon. So talk to us.
Sounds good.
Cool.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Okay, good for Zapier. All right. So
I,
next one. Oop, sorry,
I,
what?
I was gonna say, Dan, that
Yeah.
I did a Zapier. I did some zaps and forgot about it and overran my account,
No.
not realizing that it was in a loop. So it could be easy to do
Mm.
and run, especially with the agents. You can just you go. I mean, because it seems like you just need to stay on top of them. And I had other work I was working on and forgot about it. So it just kept hitting my calendar.
Yeah,
And
of something.
yeah, yeah.
And one of the things that I don't address here, but you brought it up, so I would love to chat about it real quick, is like with all the different automations, like I was thinking about a way because when I did the 100 days of AI a while ago, I created some automations with Zapier. Then when we did the 30 days, I looked and I was like, oh man, like I still have some of these automations running, like and turned on that I actually completely forgot about. So I was thinking about a way of like, I need to have some sort of repository of like all of the different automations that I have in one place so I can keep an eye on it so I don't forget like, oh, if somebody sends me an email with this keyword, like this thing will happen. okay, well, if I set that up right now, like, do I want that to happen in a year from now? Like maybe, but maybe not. Like I would want to look at it and see if I need to change that flow or maybe something that I'm doing should get caught up. I don't know. Do you guys have that problem? Or is it just me? Maybe it's just me. I don't know. All right, maybe it's
No,
just
that
me.
Yeah.
actually, so this is the same problem that me and Anika were discussing right now. Like we made those automations and now we actually do not follow it much because it's, every other day it's almost the usual stuff. They are
Mm,
taking data from the same source, so it's not that much relevant now. So that is what we were discussing that we need to tweak it a bit and maybe, schedule it on a weekly or a fortnightly basis so that we get those newsletters a little less into our inboxes with the better content.
hmm Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that's an idea for an app. Keep everything together, all of our automations. All right. Cool. All right. So next one. So Lindy. So I was looking into Lindy and they just had a huge upgrade like a week ago for their 3.0. And then yesterday I saw an email late last night, so I didn't even put it in here, is they just launched their enterprise. So like Lindy for enterprises for actual like businesses, which is pretty awesome. So Lindy is something I loved when I played around with it when I did the 100 days of AI. It just I used it so much that I burnt it out. So you only have so many credits for free. At that point, I didn't have the budget to be able to pay for it. So I kind of just stopped using it. But ultimately, yeah, so the pricing, it does start at 49 bucks. You do get like a couple free stuff, but you burn through those free ones pretty easy. What I really like about Lindy, like the most is they're very easy to set up and it can do a lot. So think about like Zapier, but a little bit more and it can connect to more things. There's a bunch of videos online that, I looked at a couple of them recently, but even some from before where I watched like the founder of Lindy like talk about what he can do. And this one, like you can connect to SMS. You can connect to phone. So like you can actually have Lindy and he uses it like a personal assistant. And that's basically what this is. So this isn't a like a Zap or like something to go out. It's more meant for having an assistant do things for you. So think about it, if like you were the CEO of a company, which some of us are in certain ways. So if you're the CEO, like having somebody like, hey, schedule this appointment for me, or like you would talk to somebody, be on a call and be like, okay, reach out to my secretary and they'll, set you up, or reach out to my assistant and they'll book a calendar, or, they'll do stuff for me. That's what Lindy can do is you can tell it what you want it to do, or you can even like CC Lindy on an email. So if you're emailing somebody back and forth and you're like, hey, schedule a call with me, instead of dropping in like your calendar link or Calendly or, your Google link or something, you can just say, talk to Lindy. And Lindy can actually respond kind of like a human, like via email, like, hey, these are the times that we have available. What's good for you? Oh, you don't like that? Do, okay, this way. So that's one of the ways that I saw people use it. The other one was actually make phone calls. So like on the more advanced plan, which again, this does get expensive. So on that plan, you can actually have it make phone calls for you and like set things up. So the founder did a live call where he literally told Lindy, he's like, go make a reservation at this restaurant. And Lindy, and he watched it and it's all, recorded. So it called the restaurant and it talked to a person and it actually booked a restaurant reservation, like using AI. So like an outbound AI, and it worked wonderfully and it added it right to his calendar. So it was done. And then you can add additional people to it, like, hey, invite this person, invite that person. So really good setup. And they just upgraded, like I said, with the 3.0. So they just upgraded it so it has that co-pilot assistant, just like Zapier, where you can tell it exactly what you want it to do. Hey, create this, do this, set this up, look at these different systems, and then give me this output. So it can connect to a lot of different systems. I don't think I put in here. Yeah, I didn't put in here all the different systems, but it can connect to a lot of different things. The cool part about Lindy, and some people compare it a little bit to like N8N. So Lindy is more of a no-code tool. It's not as complex. So everything follows in a linear order, kind of like Zapier. So if you do something like set up something like, hey, this is what I want you to do, it's step one moves to step two, moves to step three. Whereas N8N, you can have some steps do individual. So you don't have to do every step every time. But Lindy does have a lot of different benefits to that. And this is one that I think I'm going to drill down a little bit more because I remember how awesome it was when I used it a while ago, and just seeing all of the updates makes it even better. Does anyone have any experience using Lindy directly?
I do not.
No. Okay. All right. Yeah, this one, if you do a little bit of research on this one, this is probably the one that I'm the most interested in really digging into because it can help out a lot. Like even emails, like you get an email from somebody, like it'll auto craft a reply and then it, can save it as a draft. So as soon as you open up the email, like you get an email from somebody, the reply is already there. I know there's a lot of videos on Lindy for lead enrichment or like lead enhancement. So think about this like you get a form, somebody fills out a form on your website, they give you the name, phone number. Okay, cool. But I got that basic information. So you can have Lindy automatically go out, like maybe connect to Perplexity and like drill into, hey, who is this person based off of the information that I got? Maybe their email, their name, phone number, maybe even less than that. And then you can have it go and have Perplexity look at that, enrich it, update a Google Doc, automatically draft an email, thank you. I see that your work at this company, whatever it might be, and then have that just like sitting or just automatically send it right away. So there's a lot of videos for lead enhancement with Lindy out there. Like that's not the only use case, but that seems like what a lot of people are using it for, or a lot of the videos that I see are using it for. So this one's pretty awesome, and I think I'm going to drill more into this one. Maybe do like a deeper class on Lindy once I learn and start playing around with it myself in a little bit more detail. All right, any questions about this one? Good. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
All right. Next, team support. So yeah, team support AI. So this is built for customer service. So businesses that would want to, support their customers. So think about like training like a knowledge base, more along those lines. So like if you want AI to look at knowledge base, look at support tickets or tickets that you might have, or even like public facing information. But this really meant for like, hey, I have a customer and they have support related questions like how do I reset my password or how do I create a field or how do I do this thing with your software, so like more for customer support. It does have a lot of pretty good native integration, so like Confluence, Knowledge Owl. I do like the customizable agent persona, which is pretty awesome. I was actually working with a customer today, a healthcare company. Yeah, I'm not going to say who they are, but I don't know if I can or not. But either way, they're a large healthcare organization that I'm working with them on an AI agent actually through team support. And we were just joking around about how like, yeah, like you should turn it into like a pirate mode. So when it talks to your patients, it's in a pirate. And she was like, no, that's a terrible idea. Obviously, obviously, I was joking when I mentioned it. All right. I don't really mean that for a serious health, large health organization. But you could have a persona, like give it a little bit, like, tell some dad jokes, be a little sassy. She was actually telling me that she had to tell it to be friendly because when she first set it up, it was giving her a little bit of sass. Like she spelled something wrong and the AI agent came back and it literally like was like, it looks like you spelled this wrong. And she's like, it gave me sass. I was like, well, so she had to tell it, make it friendly. And that's when I joked around, like, you should make it be a pirate. So, okay, never mind. But yeah, you can add different stuff to that. But the big focus on that is like ticket deflection. So you can support your customers more. And it does learn a lot from knowledge bases. Now, this AI agent is a little bit different as some of the other ones where it doesn't connect to like different systems. So this is like a hyper specific, like use case. So like it doesn't connect to calendars. So you can't say book a calendar on somebody's appointment. It can't make calls like you can with Lindy, things like that. And if you have bad data And I mean, this kind of goes for everything. If you have bad data, like garbage data in, garbage out, like you can make a pile of crap, put a rainbow on it, all right? But it's still a pile of crap. So you got to have good data when you train anything. Like, and this goes for any of the agents. So I guess the well-maintained documentation that could be for anything. Like if you give it bad data or you don't give it incomplete or you don't give it complete data, you're not going to get everything out that you need. All right, cool. Any questions about team support? No? Cool. All right. Two more here, and looking at time, we're about halfway through. Cool. I don't think we're going to even take the whole time. Maybe we can chat for a few minutes afterwards. All right. So ElevenLabs. So I know Divya. So before I go into my experience with ElevenLabs, Divya, if you guys didn't see in the Skool community, she just uploaded a puppet of herself using ElevenLabs, which was awesome. So check it out if you didn't. What was your experience? Because I know you just used them recently. I'm going to put you on the spot.
Yeah, it was hilarious actually. I was just doing it out of, I mean, actually it was part of a boot camp activity I'm currently enrolled into. So that was day one, and they actually explained how to, build your own puppets from your own original picture. So it actually started by using Vertex AI from Google Cloud. So you need to, like the process goes that way that you need to upload your original picture, and out of it, you need to create a fur puppet, first of all, in a picture mode. Then you need to provide it an accent in whichever accent you wanted to create a video out of it. And then you can move on to 11 Labs and choose whatever voiceover you feel like. And that puppet is going to behave and react as if it's like a natural one. So yeah, that was a fun, fun activity. It hardly took 10 minutes in all, but yeah, it was good. That this is the second time
Did you
actually explored
record
11
your own
Labs.
voice?
Yeah, no, not my own voice. That option is possible only if you have a paid plan of 11 Labs. But something similar to my accent and similar to my voice is
Mhm.
something that you can fetch from 11 Labs. So yeah,
Yeah, I used
and
11 Labs too. Um, we had during the Borg hackathon, they gave like a pro access, so we could record our own voice, which I didn't do, but I could have done. That's why I was wondering if you recorded your own. But yeah,
yeah, so
11 Labs is
that feature
great.
is only available in Pro,
Mm.
not in the free version.
Mhm.
And once I used ElevenLabs to create my own reflection voice, once I was completing the 30 days of AI challenge, and there was the 30 task to create a reflection post and create your own portfolio. So there also I used ElevenLabs. I made my own affirmation and I recorded it in a voice similar to my tone and accent. So yeah, these are the two use cases I have actually experienced with ElevenLabs.
Nice. Awesome. Very cool. That's yeah, I love the video. So check out the puppet that she did in the Skool community. It's very cool. All right. What about you, Annika? You said that you wanted to mention anything?
Yeah, so I used it for an app I built with Bolt, and it was I built it for my daughter to practice her accents
Mhm.
because she was into that. So it has a so it even you can either pick example sentences and then choose whether you want it in Scottish, American, English, or there's a fourth one I don't remember now. Or you can have an actual agent. So 11 Labs has its own agent, and then you can pick that. Oh, I want to talk to a Scottish agent, and then you can have a conversation with it, and it switches between the different voices. So it's because you can say that, oh, now I want an American conversation, and then it switches to the other voice. So it's really clever. It's a
Nice.
very smart thing.
That is pretty awesome. If so because you mentioned you said your daughter's into accents, so there is a game. It's like a card game, like board game style. It's called Utter Nonsense. like
Hmm.
UTTER, like a cow udder. I don't know. I didn't make it up.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But it's called Utter Nonsense. So it's kind of like an apples to apples game if you've played that before, or Cards Against Humanity. So like that style of a game. But you just do accents. So you have an accent and then you say a phrase in a funny accent. And then whoever basically laughs the most, or whoever makes people laugh the most, they win. That's it. So it's just like a silly game, but it's all about accents and it's hilarious. So if you guys like accents, it's a really good game. I highly suggest it.
Or the butchering of an accent, like trying to do the accent, but it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
bad that it just, you're like, what?
Yes. Yes, exactly right. And one of the accents is a Chicago accent, and I'm from Chicago, so I ended up winning that one. But my wife's sister, who's an actress, she ended up winning overall the game because yes, she's an actress and she's done a lot of different accents. So she's pretty good. Okay. Anyway, so thank you for explaining like your guys' experience with ElevenLabs. And yeah, the main thing for this is voice. So like voice based. Now, what I've done with ElevenLabs and from the 100 Days of AI is I created a travel agent for my wife when we went on vacation to Puerto Vallarta. So I created a mini travel agent. So basically, I had the agent trained on like, hey, you're going to look at the Puerto Vallarta area like as a current, somebody that lives there. They know you'll know all the hot spots, you know all the places that tourists don't go to. So basically, talked about it that way, and then created it so my wife could talk to it. It's like, hey, where's the nearest school, or where's the best beach that I could go to? So something like that. So that was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun using that to plan for our trip to Puerto Vallarta. Now we didn't actually use it there because we didn't have the internet with us unless we were in the hotel. But ultimately, it was really fun to talk to it to get an answer. And like you said, you can change the accent. So sometimes we had a Spanish accent, sometimes we had an English accent. So it was a lot of fun changing the accents to it. But if you are going to be using like voice for anything, ElevenLabs is by far the top one that is out on the market right now. Now, I know that there's other voice agents and there's other systems that are similar to this. It's just ElevenLabs is the biggest one. Now, might there be other ones with more specific needs that you need? Probably. So, there are more. So if you need additional information, do your own research. I'm just suggesting what I know. And looks like Frank joined us. Hey, Frank.
Hey, what have I missed, Dan?
Everything. I'm sorry. We were just finishing up. All done.
We
Welcome.
I'm sure.
achieved world peace while you were out, Frank.
Yeah, yeah. We're good.
Well, I'm glad to hear that because the highway I was just on in Atlanta needs some world peace. So thank you for doing that.
Not
You're
fun.
welcome.
Yeah, we just finished up talking about ElevenLabs. All right, and then the last one. So you missed all the actual AI agents except Quack. So Quack is one that I personally don't have experience with, but I wanted to throw it in here because Mr. Mark Ruse has a lot of experience. So this is what came up for this, but I'd love to, yeah, have Mark talk about it. So Mark, let us know
Yeah.
about Quack.
Yeah, it's similar to TeamSupport's AI agent, but what it specializes in is just customer support, like TeamSupport's. But its main advantage is you onboard it like an actual human employee. And if anybody here is familiar with customer support ticketing systems like TeamSupport, Zendesk, Salesforce Service Cloud, there's thousands of ticketing systems. It sits on your support team and then you onboard it as if it were a human, and it has Copilot and it has a lot of features on the back end of it. But its biggest takeaway is you can talk to it and train it as if you were training a human. And it's not designed to necessarily deflect tickets, but it can handle very complex tickets. And if anybody's familiar with ticketing, it's a back and forth conversation with the customer through technically within your ticketing system. And so the customer says, this is happening. And then the human agent replies back, well, have you tried this? And then the customer responds back, and you're going back and forth. The Quack AI agent is able to learn similar to what TeamSports does from knowledge base, any content. It learns from those things, but it also has a learning center or a training center and a skills center. And it mirrors some of the things you guys were talking about here. You can give each agent a personality or a complexity level. So I may have one AI agent that handles your tier one support type questions, or I may have a tier two support AI agent that handles very complex tickets. And that's its real benefit and takeaway. And it's specialized just for customer support. It doesn't do voice and some of these other things that we're talking about, but it's very good at training on the fly. So the human support agent could actually see it talking to a customer and on the fly start telling it, hey, when these types of issues come up, do this, that, or the other. And then every time you do that, it gets smarter and smarter, and it handles more and more complex tickets. And it can hand off when it needs to a human agent. It's not designed to, get rid of human agents. It sits inside of a ticketing system with your other human agents. And what we're seeing a lot of customers doing is building these out to handle very unique or specific use cases and allowing the AI agent to handle those.
Nice. So it sounds like how you updated it, it sounds very similar to the way ChatGPT does custom GPTs.
Yeah,
You
Yep.
can tell it
yeah.
like, hey, I didn't like how it answered this way. I want you to change it to this way. And then you can test it. And then like you literally just talk to it.
Right.
Is that
Yeah,
okay?
it's got a
Yeah.
skills section that you
Mhm.
can go pretty deep with. It's designed to go as deep as you need it to, but it's also a simple, like you can onboard it just like a human agent, and
Mhm.
then as you're working with it, tribal knowledge is a big deal. Like so, human support agents, customer support agents, have a lot of tribal knowledge. It may not be in the knowledge base. It may just be that tribal knowledge. Well, anybody can start feeding it that tribal knowledge, and it gets better and better and better at resolving tickets. We're not necessarily trying to deflect them. We're trying to resolve them. The AI agent is trying to resolve them.
Got it. How many times did you
So,
say tribal, like rapid fire in the last minute?
I don't know. That was the mystery
so,
contest within this lesson. So whoever
How
gets
many
it
times
right,
did Mark say
Dan's
tribal?
gonna cut him a check for $1,000.
so basically, Quack is a ticketing LLM. So if we speak in layman terms, it is
Yeah,
also a kind of large language model, but it only works for ticketing.
yeah, exactly. That's it's very specific. It's built specifically for that vertical customer support and those types of use cases. It can auto create tickets. It can pull from tickets, existing tickets or historical tickets, and it just keeps learning more and more and more over time and gets better and better and better.
All right. Awesome.
So
Thanks for
this
the
would this
review.
would be this would be a, if a customer already had a ticketing system,
Hmm.
like a ServiceNow system, for
Hmm.
example,
Hmm.
and ServiceNow maybe would be promoting that they have
Right.
an agent.
Hmm.
That agent would compete with what Quack is capable of doing. If instead you invested in a Quack agent, you wouldn't need any agents from ServiceNow.
Right. That's right. And it also works. So Zendesk, Salesforce, Service Cloud, a lot of these platforms, they're rolling these AI agents out for that very reason. Quack's AI agent can actually work with those agents as well. So think of
Oh,
the Quack AI agent as technically another person, another support person on your team. So it'll work with those AI agents and independently.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I just had a thought. The vertical that Quack maybe should not go after is the medical doctor field.
Why do you say that?
Quack.
Well, yeah, because
Oh.
a bad doctor is a quack.
I've heard so many quack jokes. I can't believe I didn't pick up on that.
Uh,
We
uh,
use like
that,
stop
that was a
quacking around,
terrible,
that kind of
terrible
stuff.
dad joke. I know. Leave me alone.
I can't believe that I didn't pick up on that.
All right. Well, thank you for the overview, Mr. Ruse. Appreciate
Yep.
that. Cool. All right. Well, that was it. So looking at this, just kind of want to move on. So we talked about a couple different AI agents, here, and there is so many more out there. There's just so many right now, and there's more coming out every day. So really, it's not like the difference. And I do hear a lot of people, question, or you guys might even get this question. It's like, what's the best AI tool, or what's the best LLM? Well, it depends. It depends. Like, what is your goal? What are you trying to do? So choose the right tool for the job. Like a voice agent is not going to be great if you need help with your emails necessarily. So look at what you need, see how complex, like what can you do? What can you build yourself? How much time do you have to be able to build that? Do you want to do something like extremely complex and build together, or do you want to do something simple that maybe like a Lindy, just to reply to an email, just type in, hey, this is what I want you to do, and it automatically builds it for you. But also the integration, like, what do you need it to integrate with? Is it multiple different systems? Do you need it to integrate with Notion? Like Mark, like a ticketing system.
Mhm.
Do all like not every AI agent will integrate with every ticketing system if that's, your specific need. So it
Mhm.
depends on what you need. And also like the data and privacy requirements. So I did see that a lot of the ones that, we went over today do all have like GDPR, HIPAA, SOC 2, almost
Right.
everything. I'm assuming Quack has all of
Yeah,
those. I didn't look at that. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So the ones that we looked at do have all of these certifications. Yeah, all the ones at least in our list. But is that important to you in your specific use case? Like maybe, you're not dealing with health information, so you don't care if you need HIPAA compliance. Or GDPR, but, you're only dealing with US people, but also the states, like California has states, Colorado has states. So things like that. So just pay attention to the security, the data privacy, always important to make sure that other people's data is secure when you do look at that. All right. And then ROI. So just take a look at the ROI. Like how much time is it going to actually save you? Or does it save you any amount of time? Or are you just playing around with it for fun? Maybe you build something just for fun, just because you want to learn, and there is no ROI attached to that. All right. So just keep an eye on it and pay attention to what you need. All right. Cool. So next, agent roadmap. So if you wanted to actually take a look and see like what should I do? Like, okay, well, maybe I have an AI agent, or I'm thinking about building AI agents, or hey, this was cool. What should I do next? Well, first of all, you just want to actually have a roadmap. And this is something that they talk a lot about in the 30 days of AI. So don't just jump in and start doing something with AI like Mark did with Notebook LM and waste 8 hours, all right?
And lovable and everything I did.
So have a map, all right? So like actually have a roadmap. So identify first thing like what do you have that you would want, or that is repetitive, that maybe you can have it. And then map those steps. Like you can use AI to help you map what those steps are, but don't just go in and start building an AI agent right away. And then, like, what is that minimum agent? Now, some of the time, and I know I've done this multiple times, is like, okay, I want an agent that can do all of these things, and I have it in my mind, and it's like 10 steps deep. And oh, well, what if this one thing doesn't work? And I keep modifying it in my brain until I actually put it down. And it's like, okay, well, start with step one. What's the very basic thing? Somebody fills out a form on a website. I want to be able to take that information and put it in a Google Doc. Or put it in a doc. Okay, that's the step. Test it, work it. That's exactly what I needed. Now I want to add a piece to that. So, okay, now that I have this information, I want to send them a follow-up email. Like, hey, I got your information. Thank you. Maybe just a static email. Okay, that works. But now the next step, maybe I want to customize that email. So instead of just sending them a templated email reply, have it their information run through AI, maybe like an LLM. Okay, now it enhances that data, it is more specific. So when it replies to them, it applies to their specific situation that they've given you. Then you have that. Then the next thing is, okay, let's add it to a calendar. Maybe we're offering a calendar appointment. Okay, add a Google Calendar, add an Outlook calendar. So one step at a time. Because if you want to build all of that at once, you might get frustrated and you might just bail and you won't do anything. So start very basic, get it to work what you need, make sure it works, make sure it's something that you actually want to automate versus maybe you want to just do this manually for whatever reason. So that's that test and adjust, scale smartly, and then measure the impact. So like once you finish, like once you have that maybe agent do one or two things, what's the impact? How is it actually helping you? Don't just automate something because you want to automate something, what is it doing for you? So you can actually take that and what are the actual measurable results? Like, hey, I had an AI agent book 10 calendars on my appointment from somebody filling out a form on my website where I literally just showed up to the appointment. That is something that you can measure. How much time did it take you a follow-up to book that appointment beforehand? Maybe I had to usually have a phone call, or maybe I spent 20 minutes on average emailing people back and forth before I booked a call or before they booked a call on my appointment. But now AI is answering some of those questions and then it's booking an appointment for me. So it's saving me 20 minutes per appointment. 5 appointments per week at 20 minutes, that's an hour a week right there saved, right? Is that math right? Yeah, 20. Yeah, 2 times 5. No, that's 100 minutes. So that's an hour and 40 minutes. Okay. All right. You're making me do my own math here. Nobody said there'd be math involved in this training today. Okay. All right. So does that make sense? Any questions about this?
I would say that Notebook LM has that mind mapping component. And so
Mhm.
if you kind of put it into a Google Doc or some whatever, use GPT, anything to get it going, and then
Mhm.
you get it into Notebook LM and tell it to mind map it out. It does a pretty good job of giving you that flow, like in your example here.
Nice.
It maps it out. It's pretty cool. I'm
Awesome.
looking at one that I did for some sales stuff, and it's pretty cool.
Nice.
You can
Yeah.
use the same for the same process.
All right. So Notebook LM, another tool. All right. So just a couple more slides here. So myths. Yeah, I mean, a lot of us here that have paid attention to AI, we know like, oh, it's going to replace everyone. AI is going to replace everyone, everything. We're still going to need human in the loop. We're still going to have the AI sandwich. AI agents aren't going to support everyone. They're not going to do everything. There are a lot of skills like empathy. I mean, and I know AI can be trained to be empathetic, if you want to quote it that way. But ultimately, you still need to talk to real humans. You still have to have humans available. Sometimes it could make up data. Maybe the data isn't right. If you have a knowledge base article that AI is looking at and it forgets to get updated or it doesn't get updated for whatever reason, a human didn't update it or a human didn't remind somebody to update it or there wasn't a process to update it. Now it's giving wrong information because you released a new feature, a new functionality, you're doing something different now. So AI isn't going to always be right. So always make sure you do those audits. So what is AI looking at? What are you indexing? What are you training with AI? Is it updated? Is it accurate? All right. All right. So future, so agents, and this is a big thing is like, for us and like how can we upskill like ourselves, like at our job, at our work, at our company, at our consultancy firm, whatever it might be, is like what can we do to have agents work together? So not that you're, you know, doing everything yourself, but how can you actually use AI to help you do things like voice actions, text actions, reminders. Like, hey, I have this huge presentation coming up. I need to be reminded of that. Could be one thing. Maybe have AI look at all the information. Hey, there's a bunch of people coming to this meeting that I have. It's an important call for my business. So there's people that maybe I haven't talked to before. Now I want to have AI go and do research on all of those people to determine who I need to talk to. Who are the decision makers? Who are the influencers, on these calls? Why is this person on this call? Instead of doing all that manual research, that's something that you can have AI go do, and an AI agent specifically. So you can multiply yourself. So you can have 10 of yourselves go out there and do a bunch of different things. All right. So yeah, so some Q&A. I know we have about 4 minutes left, but I did want to go over this. So we can do Q&A at the end. So I'm going to spin this off real fast. So I am going to provide this deck to everyone. So I'll just put it in the community. So everyone will have access to this deck. So I had a couple ideas and I actually spent a lot of time on this trying to figure out like, what are some things that you can actually automate? Because I know sometimes like, with the 30 days of AI challenge, they give us one thing, that, Max told all of us go and do a summary of all the AI news that are out there. Well, here's just 13 different ideas. So it actually started with 10, but I was like, wait a minute, I'm a parent. I want some ideas as well. So that's why I made it 13. Baker's dozen. Anyway, so corporate work. So five, things that you can do. Oh yeah, mince, lince, cord.
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what did you use to generate these images? Because the text in them is just
Yeah, it's terrible.
gibberish.
Yeah, this is Gamma. Yeah, this is Gamma. And
I see.
I did not go through here and organize this or edit this at all. Like home
At least it's entertaining.
yeah, yeah, I just use AI for that, honestly, and that's part of it is I'm not going to correct all these. I personally don't want to take the time to correct this word tone. I could have told AI to fix it, but yes, this is definitely not perfect. What I did focus on was what I actually said, like scheduling meetings, the tasks that you can do at home, and the things that you can do as a parent. So like as a crafty or as a parent, I'm quite busy as well. So using AI has helped me, especially with meal planning for that. And then, so that's just a couple ideas for you. And then I have a worksheet for anyone. If you guys want, you can, print this off or, take a look. Or if you're watching this video later, it's right here in the doc, so you can copy this or you can take a screenshot right now. Just, hey, these are some tasks that I might want to automate, just to give yourself some ideas. Just write it down, but don't take all five of them. Which one are you going to do? What one action do you want to take? What's one thing that you think you can automate? And it doesn't have to be a 5-step process or a 10-step process. It can be a 2-step process. This happens. I want this to happen automatically. Start there. See, make sure it works right. Does it do what you want it to do? Then add a step. Then make sure it works correctly. And then eventually you can have some very complex multi-step processes that actually really help you save a lot of time in the future. And then that's it. There you go. So pick your task. What platform? Build and test. Go ahead. Have fun. Set forth. All right. Oh, wow. We are 1 minute down. So yeah, that was it. So what do you guys think? Any questions or anything before I turn the recording off? We're good? All right.
I just have a general question about the recording itself. Do you do you post this up for us to go retrieve, or do you push it out to us? I can't recall.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll put it in the community. So I have the recordings here. Let me pull up so I can yeah, I can just let me go to show you guys where this is in the Skool community. All right. So here, so in the community, you just go to classroom. Now mine looks a little different here. So we have these, so like the master classes. So this one will be a master class. So there's like different categories. So like I have prompts here. You want to see my book. We have the mini lessons. I actually just added a brand new mini lesson about how to create gems. So different stuff here as well. So you just go to the master class and it'll be posted here. So this one is the Atlas that I did not that long ago. So the 52-minute one and then how to create GPTs and gems. This was last Friday or the Friday before, something like that. So this recording will just be here. It'll just be stored right here.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, you are welcome. All right, and then yeah, I'll post I'll pin a community tab here. Excellent. Well, I'm going to stop the recording. So thank you all. So if you're watching this, I appreciate it. If you have any questions about any of these tools, don't hesitate to reach out. Or if you're building something cool, let me know. Or if you want to build something with any of these tools, let me know as well. We'll see what we can do to help. Thank you and bye.
Cool. Thank you. Thanks, Dan.
Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
bye.